Hi, it's me, live from my bed in my new holiday pajamas. Yay, holiday pajamas! I have more than one pair of holiday pajamas. I'm not going to lie to y'all, but I love every single one as much as I do all of my children. I have more than one for a reason. One just ain't enough. Feel the same way about kids as I do holiday pajamas. If you're with me, I get it. And if you're not, I get that too. Either way, it's my favorite time of the week. Hopefully it's yours too. Ask away with Coach MK with a broken mic and a broken light in the other room and a broken, everything feels like there's a lot that's broken around the house right now, but we're still here. I'm still here. We're still going to do this. If the sound quality is terrible, do let me know. I'll do the best I can without a mic, but I got pretty earrings, a reindeer in my pocket, and Joyeux Noel on my back. Yay! I like to think that's all we need to succeed, right? So before we get into the meat of the broadcast, counting up the weekly wins, answering everyone's questions, and all the bouncing because we're sitting on my bed, I wanted to go over a few things really quickly. So this week, again, I asked y'all last week, I'm reminding you now, you should have received multiple correspondences from me about the goal setting session. It's called A Return to Hope, First Look at 2021. We're going to be doing that on Thursday, December the 3rd. That's this Thursday. I know, right? It's December, like now. So like this Thursday, December the 3rd at 11 o'clock my time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. on the East Coast in North Carolina time. Okay. So there you go. That's the range. So 11 a.m. my time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time and 10 a.m. Pacific time. That is what time on Thursday we're going to be doing the look ahead at 2021. I'm really, really excited. We're going to count back all the wins in 2020, going to frame your perspective going forward. And we're really, because really that's all that matters. As I said, if you saw the cute little trailer promo I tried to do in all the other Facebook groups, we're going to have a formal sign-up link for non-subscribers pretty soon, but we got a week to get that out and start drawing them in. But perception is reality, which means perspective is everything. And no one frames perspective like I do, or I like to think. No one's grip on reality is firmer than mine. I just refuse to believe that when I did my best, I might have still failed. Because it's not everything needs to be a zero-sum game. Not everything needs to be about trying to beat better out of you. I feel like that's just a hamster wheel and a mentality that's been used to harm so many people. And it's absolutely perpetuated by the fitness industry. Like if you worked hard, you'd have the things you wanted. We know that's a lie. It's if you worked really hard, you'd be the size you wanted to be. That's a lie too. Let me tell you about that. As I said here, part of the reason I'm learning to love soft pants is I don't know that I'll ever be the same size I was before I had Violet. And after the first 3, with the body relatively unscathed, it was really hard coming to terms with that with the 4th. But it's not about accepting failure or accepting a new reality. It's about framing your perspective on a way that doesn't make it about your efforts, that disavows all the work that you've done, that invalidates a legitimate concern, that makes you feel bad or broken or fundamentally flawed in some way, which is a lie. Whether you're religious or not, I know my favorite quote, the one quote that I will tolerate, the one that everyone and their mother had to either sew into a towel or a blanket and give to me with each pregnancy was, "You are perfectly made in the image of a perfect maker." And I love that visual. What if we operated from that basis? You are perfectly made, period. Every decision you've ever made is the right one. You've made no mistakes. Doesn't mean you haven't made errors, but rather every choice you ever made was the right one. Then there's nothing to regret and there are no mistakes. Even if you ate a whole box of crackers for breakfast, like I did, they were great. Sat here and ate them in my bed with my babies, and we watched a Christmas movie. If you haven't seen Jingle Jangle, go see Jingle Jangle. It's really good. But I cried through the whole thing, lost at my eyelashes, and didn't really care because I was like, this is just so good. Oh my gosh. And it was amazing. We sat here and had a terrific morning, and I wouldn't have changed a darn thing about it. And the crackers were really good, you know. So I tell you that to tell you this. I spent a long time really worried about my size and what that meant and who I was. And there's a lot of clothing that I really love that I might not fit into again. And if whatever you feel, that's okay. That's valid. That's real. But it doesn't specifically mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. It doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy the crackers with your babies. And it certainly doesn't mean you should give up on holiday pajamas. Part of the reason I love these so much, I have a lot of Christmas pajamas, and I never would let myself buy another pair this year because it's been a year of losses, and the last thing I need are new pajamas. But I found these on Poshmark, got really excited, and I'm stupidly excited over this really amazing $20 pair of pajamas that I wouldn't have purchased for myself, except for the ones from last year don't fit as well as I remember, or from 4 Christmases ago, pre-Violet. So I could put on pajamas that make me feel bad with these earrings and do this broadcast, or I can buy something that made me feel good, put on something that made me feel good. Not everyone has the extra $20 to spend right now, and I get that too. It's not specifically about consumerism. It's about avoiding the thing that you know isn't going to work. Those pajamas aren't going to make me feel good. Maybe you don't have the money to buy a new pair, but you don't have to wear the pair that makes you feel like crap. You don't have to wear the running shoes that hurt your shins. You don't have to wear the thing that you spent money on and are determined to get your money's worth out of if it doesn't work for you. And I guess that is why when I look at Thanksgiving this year, and it seems like in all the Facebook groups that the email I sent resonated, even though I wasn't aware of all those comments at the time. When I wrote that, because I've been sick for the last few days, y'all. Got my big nasty knuckles. My arthritis has been acting up really badly. And my doctor suggested a liquid diet for a few days to clean out my innards and get rid of whatever was causing all the inflammation. And boy, got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. It led to food poisoning very quickly because making soup is hard work and I suck at it. So there you go. Well, I sat here laying in my bed, just pondering things and thinking about how much easier this Thanksgiving had been than Thanksgivings past, despite the liquid diet and feeling like crap. It seems like that has really been a thing for all y'all as well. We go through the motions for a holiday expecting to feel good, instead end up stressed out, wiped out, and not feeling good about anything at all. Funny enough, this is probably the best holiday ever, the best Thanksgiving ever, and the least stressful one that we've ever had. It was a little sad I couldn't be with my mom. I know she misses the grandkids terribly. At the same time, for the rest of us, it was a real boon. And I am a little embarrassed to say that because it's not like, well, this is the new way. We're just not going to have anybody over ever again. But rather, maybe a lot of the things that we did or tried to force didn't make for a better holiday at all. So when I think about what is destined to be better in 2021, I'm hopeful that finally we can look back at all the things that we were doing, all the work that didn't work for us, and find a new way forward, a brand new path, one that keeps us locked in a cycle of mental health and happiness for life. And if you can't win, play in bed. That's what I say. So I'm in bed today. We got no light in the other room. I've got just enough in here to make this work. And then these add a little something, because why not Christmas pajamas? Yay. So I am going to go through. Sorry, I keep getting all these texts. We're collecting mutual aid. If you live in the Denver area and you happen to see this, there's a massive, massive sweep. I posted about it on my personal Facebook page, and everyone and their mother is dumping off stuff for the unhoused on my front porch right now. It's a little excessive. And by excessive, I mean the neighbors are all really pissed. It's kind of random what people have decided to donate, but it's all living on my front porch to be taken away at 5 a.m. If you have stuff you need to get rid of that an unhoused neighbor in your neighborhood might appreciate, feel free to put it on my porch, because everyone else has. So if I apologize if I seem distracted. Trying to turn all the notifications off my phone while I get through this has proven impossible with this gigantic sweep tomorrow. So we're going to start with the weekly wins. Here we go. Alicia Budd ran a virtual 10K today. Yay. She said, it didn't feel great, but I'm so happy that almost exactly 4 months after major surgery, I ran a 10K. 2020 won't get the best of me. That's right, Alicia Budd. You've had a really hard 2020. I am proud of you. I'm thrilled for you. I'm sure this didn't set you back at all. If anything, psychologically, it feels like it might have been a gigantic leap forward. And I'm thrilled that we could take that leap with you. Congratulations. It's a step in the right direction. And it's one that your mind is going to be taking alongside you. Yay. Can't ask for better than that. You really can't. Shar Gore listened to her body. Her mind wanted to run for an hour, but her body said 45 minutes was enough. And she honored that. Congratulations, Shar. That is really hard to do. Let me tell you. I went for a run. I haven't been running for the past week because my arthritis has been so bad. But it's been worse since. I'm too young to be saying I have really bad arthritis, y'all. This is the worst break I've had in like over a decade. And it's not rheumatoid. It's just run-of-the-mill arthritis, and it's in this hand, and it now extends up to my shoulder and through my elbow, which makes no sense because I don't play tennis, don't have tennis elbow. Like, there's no logical reason for any of this other than my body was just like, lay down. So I'm doing that. So one of my last runs, I went out with a friend thinking, as I advise you all not to do, thinking maybe I'll actually feel like it with this if I go with this friend. And we ran, and then we walked, and then we ran, and then we walked, and then we ran, and then we walked. And it was good to see this person, but at the end of it, she said, we could have just sat down and had coffee. And I'm like, why didn't we just sit down and have coffee? I was not in the mood for this, but I wanted to see this person, and I didn't want to deprive her of a workout. So good for you, Shargore, on doing the thing that I did not do last week, which was listening to your body. It's the most advanced thing you can do, and it can also be the most difficult. Kristen Fraser said, I love starting Thanksgiving with a run, and it's only once been with an official turkey trot, so it's no big deal to do a 5K on my own. The sun finally came out today after a week of gray, rainy grossness, and my daughter decided to join me. It's been weeks since I really ran, so the fact that I pulled off a 5K with relatively little walking was a massive win, and I kept my heart rate under 140 to be super smart. All good. Yay, you. That sounds like a win all the way around, especially getting your kid to come with you. That's something we've been working on. I'm really hopeful I can get my kid out with me more come this spring. It's been a little bit of a challenge earlier in the year. We got her a bicycle, and trying to get her on the bicycle was really easy. Trying to get her on the bicycle now, with the days being as short as they are, is really, really hard. It feels like there isn't quite enough. It's not that there isn't enough time. There isn't enough daylight to do all the things that we want to do. But maybe we can all think a little differently as we return at least to distance learning on Monday, make our own schedule and see if we run in the middle of the day as possible. Who knows? Either way, I want to be where you are, Christian Fraser, because you are winning at life, running with your kid, and banging out a 5K and being smart. Congratulations. In Maintain, Karina Terry had a great long run. She said, yes, I felt so good today. I almost made it the full 2 hours I was going to run, but cut it short by 11 minutes. That's okay. I hit a hill on my run, so I feel like that kind of makes up for it. Yeah, especially I think this you hit it twice, so that totally makes up for whatever you cut off. Woo! And plus 2 hours is a lot. 1 hour and 49 minutes is a lot. I mean, the differential, minimal. Way to get what you needed and way to know when to stop. Dan Felton did a Thanksgiving virtual half and found that Alice's Restaurant made the perfect running song for him that day. Is that like Tom's Diner? I'm not familiar with Alice's Restaurant, but I'm also not very cool. So, Dan, you're going to have to educate us all with links to this amazing song. Or maybe next time when you go out for a jog, get some photos, get some video clips, string it together to the soundtrack of Alice's Restaurant so we can experience this with you. If you manage to do that, we'll totally share it on our Instagram account. As a matter of fact, if any of you do something like that, we will share it on our Instagram account. That would be amazing. Trisha Thorne ran a virtual turkey trot and said it was great fun to pick up the pace for a little bit as she's been slowly returning to running after breaking a toe. Bless your heart. That is painful. That is hard. That is terrible. Congratulations on making it back. Congratulations on doing a turkey trot, especially if this is a turkey trot that you do every year. And I respect that that's a tradition that a lot of people love. There's one that I used to be a part of down in Centennial that I've not been doing for the past few years, and I do miss that. So if you've been able to do anything that made you feel a little bit good this week, that's a win no matter what it is. Don't judge it, count it, and be grateful for it. Yay, Trisha Thorne. Here we go. So now I'm going to jump into the questions in Rebuild and Maintain and then circle back around for an exciting announcement that we're going to be running through the winter, or at least through December. I can't wait to tell you about that in a minute. But for now, we're going to go back to we're going to hit the questions in Rebuild, but stay tuned for another announcement. So for the Return to Hope event on the 3rd, what time will that be? and in what time zone. So the event for clients on the 3rd is going to start at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 10 a.m. Pacific Time, noon Central, and 1 p.m. Pacific, Eastern Standard Time. There you go. So that should cover all the time zones, at least for America, and give y'all enough to be able to look it up for our clients in Europe and Australia. And I picked that time awkwardly so because at the moment I'm not sure that we have any in Asia, but that time zone seemed to be one that would work with the clients that I'm aware of in Europe and in Australia as well. Can Mr. MK share another holiday drink recipe this year? Yes, he actually can. He's a little excited for it, and he's working on it in the kitchen right now. We're going to have a couple different recipes ready for you, and we're going to have a fun time introducing them as well. We're going to try to spice up this Sunday night while we get ready for Romuel, because we're not ending this year without a roar, you guys. It's not going to happen. We're going to roar into 2021, being like to 2020, or at least that's my plan. In Maintain. I feel really sluggish when I get my period. Any tips for putting pep back in my step and getting out the door for a run? So my 2 cents on this, if you still get my Nuzzle newsletter, I still churn that out every week. In the Nuzzle newsletter, there's a story about red S, and that has to do with overtraining, but one of the symptoms of overtraining is iron loss, ferritin loss. So when you're on your period, it is totally normal to be sluggish anyway because your body is going to be low on iron, and there's no quick way to replace or replenish it. So I say, listen to your body and lean in. If that's a day or two, I know usually when I get mine, I'm like, I'm not pushing this. I'm not forcing it. I might jog for 30 minutes. I might walk for 30 minutes. I might do nothing. But the first day of my period is still pretty bad. And I feel incredibly sluggish. So that's what I do. And that's what I would advise everyone to do, because trying to force it isn't going to lead anywhere good. You literally don't have enough iron fueling your muscles, building up your red blood cell counts and your red blood cell stores. Nothing good's going to come from forcing it in that moment. And you won't necessarily feel better for doing it. You'll feel bad that you didn't normalize after a few minutes, or that that feeling didn't go away. So rather than punish yourself, I say it's best to take that first day off. If you really don't feel it at all, be gentle to yourself, go for a Pokemon walk, hang out, do whatever it is that you need to do, but don't try to force anything, because trying to force, there are certain days when you don't want to start and you feel better once you did. When your iron's low and your ferritin is 2, and you know the reason why, you're bleeding, that's a pretty good sign that you're not going to feel better after you start. So it's easy to go hard. It's hard to go smart, and going slower than you want to go at any given moment is the hardest thing you'll ever do. And that includes not going at all. But it's a really great year to not go at all. Are you even thinking about racing this year? No. It's very quick. No. Which is awkward, right? Like we're runners. I've been a marathoner for a really long time. So many of us are. So I have a company about run coaching. I didn't come into this for performance. I didn't come into it for a marathon. I came into it for health. I came into it for cardiovascular fitness. I came in it to help my dad rehab him, because I'm a morning person, or I was a morning person when I was younger. The pressure to perform has never really been there for me, like it is for so many people. I've never really had anything to prove. And to a certain degree, I still don't. I mean, sometimes I'll pretend to care about things to go in a flow of conversation with other run coaches or other runners. But on the whole, if I don't qualify for the Olympic trials, I don't care. If I don't qualify for Boston, again, under my name at this stage of my life, I don't care. I've had more and richer experiences than I care to describe. Running's given me so much, and what it's given me has nothing to do with the races. So yeah, I can go a year without the pressure to show up, perform, and race. I'm fine with that, because what you guys experienced on Thanksgiving with the low-key holiday is kind of what I'm trying to get everyone else to do in the running world, right? You can just do the thing. You can do the thing without KPIs, without performance metrics, without pressure, without concerns. You can just do the thing, and it's going to be just as good, and you might even like the outcome more. So at some point, if I feel good and I feel fit, I reserve the right to race. But no, I'm not going into this with any plans to. I got my options for Chicago, and I don't even know that I'm going to defer it. That's how little I care right now. Ask me again in a week, though, but that's kind of where I stand at the moment. Or I don't know. If it changes before Thursday, I'll let you know on Thursday, but that's how I feel about that. So that ends all the questions. Here's the announcement. So because the one thing I've not been really good about this year is foam rolling, because there for a while last year, I was foam rolling every single day and demonstrating it on Twitch. And now I've kind of gotten out of that. And I thought, why not just for a month of December, we do something like the mobility challenge and roll out our bodies like dough, and just roll all the tension out, roll all the stress out, roll all the pressure out. I've been thinking of ways. I'm going to take my foam rolling series. I'm going to break it down into 3-minute digestible bits that we're going to do that will spread between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. That gives me a day off too. So we got people demonstrating strength in the morning. I'm going to come in the evening before, maybe not right before bed. I'll try to do it a little bit earlier, but accommodating everyone's going to be tough because this house gets really loud. We are the loud house. We're the Casa Grandes. But we are, no, nothing. In the loud house okay. My kids are really into that show right now. And I hear that theme song all the time. So I was thinking, since I'm going to be coming and doing, on top of all the other things that are happening right now, you can take what you want and leave the rest. This is never a mandate for you to show up. It's just a promise that we will. I want to show up every day. And I want to I'm still on the fence about it. You tell me what you think. Either doing the mobility challenge here in the private Facebook groups, or on the Facebook page and in the general heart rate training group, where so many people, where everybody can be together in one big place. So you tell me what you prefer about that. But the other thing is, while I do that 3-minute routine, Monday will be shin day. So the 3 minutes while we work out our shins, it would be really fun if somebody, one of you, different one each day, would be really cool, could nominate a nonprofit that means a lot to you and that is in need right now. Rather than doing one big holiday fundraiser, I thought, gosh, there's so much that's going on. What if we just took off the pressure to give a bigger donation of any kind and just said, here are all the things that all of our people care about. And use our platform to sort of promote those things, so that we're not only talking about the one or two organizations. We're highlighting all the organizations that are doing good work. And if something resonates with you, feel free to make a donation. We'll put the links down. But if not, cool. So you got 3 minutes while I foam roll something painful to talk about doing a little bit of good in your community or some other community. Does that sound fun? Let me know what you think. Either way, we'll be rolling it out. But yay, you're excited about foam rolling? Good, me too. I'm excited to get to spend a little more time with you guys and get ready for Slow Burn, which is going to be coming up in January. I'm excited about that. But we're going to talk more about Slow Burn in the webinar. I just wanted to give us a platform, since we're not doing the holiday fundraiser, we're not sliding through the holidays. I wanted to find a way to bring us all together, get rid of a little stress, and maybe talk about different ways to do good, if good is something that you want to do, or just relieve some tension, because I know we all got a bunch we need to get rid of. So yay, foam rolling is going to start on December the 1st. I know that's really soon. I know. And I promise that that December will be up by the time I do the first foam rolling exercise. You can bank on that, Susan. Anyway, that's all we have for the week. Short, sweet, to the point. But you get more of me. You get me, I think it's Tuesday night. I think Tuesday is December the 1st. So you get to see me on Tuesday night for foam rolling. Let me know if you have a preference about where that would be, either closed in the groups or public on the pages. And then again for the webinar on Thursday. Yay. And then the Zoom on Friday. That's a lot of opportunities to come together as community. So if you miss one, don't worry. There are still other opportunities to catch up with the group. You are coached. You are loved. Let's go into this week and remembering, without any shadow of a doubt, that you are winning at life. It's only uphill. It's only going to get better from here, you guys.